Books on Kindle Unlimited. I get this question a lot. I read on my Kindle a lot also, so I just want to kind of tell you guys what's available. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Karen and I do a lot of books, fashion, lifestyle content. Make sure to subscribe button. I wanted to talk to you guys about some books that you can find on Kindle Unlimited. I actually made a list, so I'm gonna pull that up. It's quite a few. I'm gonna put a picture over here. Now keep in mind when I made this list, some of those books might have been available and now they probably aren't, but the last I checked they were, and that was like 2 days ago. So I'm gonna start putting pictures over here and just kind of listing out the titles of the books. Some of the things I have read, some of the things I haven't. The book Feeling Donovan is Killing It. It's about like this mom that kind of gets mixed up in some type of murder by mistake, and she's also a thriller writer. I'm gonna put a picture over here. Then there's a lot of Freida McFadden's books on Kindle Unlimited as well. I'm gonna mention a few of the titles. She's one of my favorite thriller authors and I definitely recommend her books. They're so freaking fast-paced. If you're trying to fill up some TBR space and want to meet a reading goal, her books are super fast-paced. So The Wife Upstairs, The Handmaid, Do Not Disturb, those are all books by her, and honestly I've read all of them. They're super good. Yes, I look super tired. I'm kind of anti-makeup during the weekends, bear with me. Then we have Colleen Hoover also has quite a few of books on there, some of them including Reminders of Him, which is her newest release. This is kind of about, not kind of, I read this book, I really liked it, I rated it 5 stars. It's about this lady, she moves into this new town where a lot of traumatic stuff happened to her in the past, and then she meets this bartender guy who ends up being the love interest. But she has some history with a guy from that town, and then she's kind of looking for her daughter and she's out of prison. It's just a lot, you know, typical Colleen Hoover books are super dramatic, but it's a really good book, a lot of twists, like I said, typical Colleen. And yeah, and then we have Leila. I've heard this is kind of about a ghost, no freaking idea. I started reading it, to be honest it kind of bored me, but I know a lot of people like it. If you want a free Colleen Hoover book, Leila's available on there. It is kind of like a thriller, so people have compared this to Verity, and then some people say that's totally inaccurate, so I can't really tell you which one who's lying because I haven't read Leila, but I have read Verity and that's one of my favorite books. So yeah, you can find one of her thrillers on there. I've heard it's kind of like a thriller romance as well, which Verity is a thriller romance. If you're interested, I'll put a picture over here as usual. Then the first book in the Hopeless series is also on Kindle Unlimited. This one is about, so it's one of those books that I read and then I completely forgot what it was about. I don't remember. I do remember there's some trigger warnings for it, so just look up the trigger warnings before you read the book. Very traumatic book. I don't think it's for everybody. I personally really didn't like it. I gave it 3 stars, but it is on Kindle Unlimited. If you're a Colleen fan, look for that on there. We have the Off-Campus series, the first book. It's on there, which is The Deal. I freaking love that book. One of my favorite book boyfriends, Garrett Graham, is on there, and I just freaking love that book. It's a hockey series. This is the first book. Pretty much he meets this girl, they're complete opposites, and they kind of make this deal that she's gonna help him with school and he's gonna help her get this guy on the football team that she has a crush on. It's honestly a super fun book. I really liked it. I read the entire series. It's one of my favorite series. You can find book 1 for free on there, and then I think the other books are pretty cheap as well. Then we have the Selection book 1 is also on Kindle Unlimited. It's all free. All the books I mentioned here are free. The Selection book 1, this is kind of like a dystopian bachelor style kind of book about a prince that has to select a woman to marry, and he has like 39 women to the castle, and it's about that. I really liked it that much. It is definitely highly YA, so if you want a really immature book, there's that. Then we have Hard Bones by Colleen Hoover. It's also free on Kindle Unlimited. I actually had purchased this book and I had no idea it was free on there. Honestly, I should have just read it on Kindle and not pay for it because I really didn't like this book. A lot of people really like it. If you want to read Hard Bones, I do recommend it. I gave 3 stars, so I mean, I guess I liked it, but it wasn't one of my favorite Colleen books. Then we've got Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. This one's also on there. I gave this book 5 stars. It's alternating timelines between a mother and a daughter. She was in love with this guy since high school, got pregnant, and then The daughter's storyline is also really interested, and you have this daughter's love interest. There is a lot goes on in that book. I feel like if I say anything, I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. Grading You is one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books, so I definitely recommend it. We've got the fine print, and then so this is the Dremel Billionaire series. I'm gonna put both of the pictures here. There's 2 books. I'm guessing there's gonna be a third book about the other brother story. These guys that own a theme park, kind of like Disney, and they fall in love with girls who are complete opposites for them, and very, very spicy book, high spice level. I personally like book number 2 better, and I did read them book number 2 first and then book number 1, but they're still a good series. I do recommend it. It just wasn't my favorite. These are all really, really popular books. That's why I'm including them in this video, even though I didn't like it. I didn't like a lot of them, so really think it's a super good deal because they're all free. Then we've got Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I'm currently reading that book for another video that's gonna be going up after this one. Enjoying it so far. A little too long, unnecessarily long, but then we've got Twisted Games by Anna Wong. I read book number 1 of this series. I think there's like 4 books. I really like this book. I didn't read book number 2 because I think it has something to do with the bodyguard, and I'm not really into the whole bodyguard situation when I was a bodyguard, so I haven't read book number 2, but it is a really interesting story. It's a brother's best friend trope, and a lot of people are obsessed with this series right now, so I do really recommend you read it. Then we've got A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. This is by Monica Murphy. I don't really know what this book is about. I kind of started reading it. It is like, okay, so they're minors in the book, and there's some spice scenes that I don't know if I'm super comfortable with because they are minors. Yeah, I know it's a super popular book. I'm gonna put the cover over here. It is free on there, so you don't have to spend your money on that. You have a Kindle Unlimited subscription. Then we've got 1,000 Boy Kisses. Steph Bauer mentioned this book a long time ago. It's one of her favorite books. It's supposed to be a really sad book, childhood friends to lovers kind of book. I personally never really got into it because it was kind of trending to be a little too sad for my taste, but I know it's a really popular book, so I'll put it over here. Then we have To Love, Jasonthorne. This is one of those books that I really, really love, and I went through it so freaking fast. So this is a celebrity trope. It's a celebrity. They are childhood friends, so then there's also the brother's best friend trope. There's so many really, really cool tropes in this book. And then there's a sequel called To Hey Adam Connor. I haven't read that one, but I'm sure it's just as good. Then we have Made in Manhattan by Lauren L. I don't know, I didn't spell her entire name, but this one's kind of cute. I am like 50% into it right now. It's about this girl. She's really rich. It kind of gives like Gossip Girl vibes. It's like angry southerners. It's like a grumpy sunshine. I'm not a huge fan of the guy, but the romance is pretty cute. So people have compared this to It Happened One Summer, but like New York setting. I kind of agree with that. Then lastly, we have the Crave series by Tracy Wolf. This is a series kind of like Twilight. I personally haven't read it, but if you like Twilight, there's another series that's on Kindle Unlimited for free. And I think that's all the books I'm going to mention. There are so many books you can find on here for free if you have the Kindle Unlimited subscription. I definitely recommend it. I honestly can't be purchasing as many books as I read, and this really helps because you only pay $9.99 every month and you get such a wide selection of books. I personally really like this. I think this is the most basic Kindle ever, and yes, it's a pop socket with a little corgi on it because I love my corgi, and I really recommend that. It's not a sponsor. I just really think everyone should have a Kindle. So enjoy, read all these books. There's so many other books that I even get into it. I might make a video number 2 because there's just so many books that you should know they are for free on there. And since I'm like losing my voice right now, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and close this video right here. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Get a Kindle or a Kindle Unlimited subscription and just read on your phone. I really recommend it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Let me know if you like this video, and let me know what other books I should be reading on Kindle Unlimited. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.